if you really look at it, it's mobile character, projectile character, and then there happens to be a different one. But going straight into the match, Shadowcat going with his lead as Sceptile versus Ido Libre. It's going to be Shadowcat getting started with that little quick CA, not taking on too much damage, but you know what? Ooh, we got Ido in a tough spot, but jumping right out the middle, trying to find a way in. CA, and then it's just a little bit of neutral here, going back and forth.
Yeah, that's a great knockdown so far from Shadowcat. I mean, this has been a really, really strong neutral. It looked like nothing was happening, but it was just little hits here and there from Shadowcat. And that is kind of the classic style of Shadowcat, right? The perfect spacing. A lot of people have likened his play to like the play of like a machine, right? Which is, I think, a very appropriate analogy. It's, I mean, just so perfect all the time. Perfect optimization, perfect spacing. Look at that. We are now one hit away potentially from basically going into this next round at the perfect. That's going to chip down to 1 HP.
And the Dragonite choice, which is actually quite interesting. It's not too rare to see. But you know what? You know what? Why I see that that Dragonite having that breaks in the back. Breaks in being able to actually reduce the amount of time your support would come to be of use. And when you have all these characters that do so much chip, Sceptile, breaks in, Darkrai. I would completely expect Darkrai to come out of such a pick from Shadowcat.
Yeah, we saw Shadowcat play earlier and have a really strong match on stream, and the Dragonite from both Wild G and Shadowcat today just putting in so much work. Really, one of the big like meta advancements that we've seen in the past even year or so is just the Dragonite in especially 3v3 mode. But right now, Ido has to fight back and get a lot of damage on Shadowcat very quickly, but Shadowcat trying to hold on to this lead, using burst to burst, which is honestly a fine thing for Shadowcat. It looks like maybe nothing happened. Yeah, good block, still plus one block.
Ooh, the very long 5x going through, gonna add on a lot of chip to Ido on block. 5x gonna be backdash right on there, trying to punish it with the Spirit Shackle, and we still have burst on deck. Nice! I don't know where that spacing came from, but Shadowcat was definitely on the mark and ready to hit out Ido right from the skies. And Spirit Shackle gonna knock Shadowcat even further back. The dive bomb gonna get a hard knockdown. Again, Shadowcat trying to escape, and right now it's just Ido taking the skies. What's the guess? 8 wide, gonna be hit out by Umbreon.
You know, you can actually call a Dragonite in the middle of that Fury attack, but oh, good trade.
There's a lot, and I mean a lot of startup for Dragonite. And you know what? Ido realizing that there's enough of a gap to actually take the damage and get the KO. Even if you're already low HP, it's like, why not confirm the kill on the character?
Yeah, well, okay, so there's like a decent amount of startup, but the projectiles do hit a little bit fast, so using that Spirit Shackle to, I think, eat the first projectile hit of the Dragonite was a really cool way to trade there, but yeah, there you go. If you're within range, grab is absolutely the option, and now we've seen 2 Dragonites in a row not work out for Shadowcat. Using them in a little bit of, I guess, suspect spots, not just like on knockdowns or at a space where nothing can happen, so I think we're going to see Shadowcat be a little bit or a lot more careful with that as this goes on, but nice pressure.
Yes, indeed, especially taking to the skies, the air cancels, the hover, not hover cancels, but glide cancels, all of those gliding in the air are so tough to deal with. Darkrai, even though it's a zoner, has a 23 frame anti-air.
Oh, that's it.
Oh yeah, that's a clone explosion, not a clone hold. If he actually did hold down the A button on that for Nasty Pot, you can actually get a frame 1 invincibility on a clone, and you would be able to block immediately. But unfortunately, Shadowcat not doing that.
Yeah, that was a really tough round, honestly. We barely got to see the Darkrai at all, and like you said, Shadowcat for sure in the running for like best Darkrai. So that just goes to show how strong that Ido Decidueye is. And, you know, we expected to see a lot of really strong Decidueyes over today, and we have already so far. There's a lot more in the qualifiers for Worlds, too.
But you know what? What's just as strong as a Darkrai from Shadowcat is Bracing, being one of his main characters all the way from the beginning of VU. And not only that, tacked on with a Dragonite, gonna get a beautiful combo here, pushing Ido all the way to the back with Dragonite. No way to grab this. is going to add on a fire spin layered on top. You cannot get out of this corner. And just like that, light screen going to hit Ito out and move him to his last character, which is the Gardevoir. Both of them on their mains. Well, for Shadowcat, he pretty much uses both of them evenly, but you know, we've seen him use his breaks in a little bit more than his Darkrai. So right now, Shadowcat having full meter on his side, Umbreon, and at least 80% synergy at the ready for Ito. Pulling closer. Oh, that was a nice punish on the side Y, realizing that's usually what Gardevoir's movement option and escape choice is. Umbreon going to be used and block, fully charged, stored power, going to be eating out the vulnerable frames of it. And nice light screen, not only being able to negate projectiles, but has a CA part of the move as well. So we're just using it to our full ability. Look at that. We're practically spamming it because of how good it is. But Ito doesn't take any mind to it, taking on the time to get on that extra damage and feeling the pressure of these projectiles, going back and forth, the movement. And look at Shadow repositioning himself with that side Y to actually make sure he takes mid-stage.
Yeah, you know, despite everything that's happened in that round, it looks like not a very high damage round so far. Now we're going to go to burst to burst. Just enough that, oh my, that is a huge wall.
Oh my gosh, this
is that it?
There's no way this KOs does it.
I think it might. I think it will.
Just might. It did so much little like scaling going in from the flare cannon, but going all the way through. Yeah. Oh, no, 10 HP left.
Okay, we've got the Dragonite. Dragonite can hit. Oh, never mind. It doesn't even get a chance to come out. That combo was disgusting. That was ridiculous. And that is a very specific combo too, right? It has to like wall really high from the like the 5A, like from a range too, I believe, to do that full combo. I don't think it's the normal 5A wall combo.
Yes,
but I don't regard too well.
It usually is, because when you're close enough to do stored power in that single hit range, it already is going to be a low scaling combo. And then doing the full flare cannon in the air all the way to burst, if not, I believe it was optimal. If not, it just did plenty of damage, and Ito just did enough to actually close it out right there with a last minute projectile.
Yeah, that was, I mean, you know, it's really funny because I was just talking about how it was kind of a low damage game up to that point, or at least round between those two characters. And then it's like, okay, you want some damage? I'll give you some damage.
I'll give you some damage. You know, showcasing, you know, that real, you know, high level play with Gardevoir. Braixen and Gardevoir are characters that, yes, can throw out so many projectiles, but if you give the right hit, that right single hit, whether it be on the wall or mid-stage, or you're going to see some damage. And right here, starting off with the Darkrai, trying to go with a more favorable matchup is Shadowcat, and we already are getting started with the rips. You have to get, oh my gosh, the spacing on that. He was ready to just zone out the whole entire time and let Ito try to make the approach. But then that last moment right there, he was like, all right, well, maybe I can do something different. But what's different is the nasty plot. Gonna put him into Bad Dreams Rising, and nice. Being able to space out that Dark Void so that way he starts a little bit further, but Ito already going in with the wild charge. Not only going to take him out of Bad Dreams Rising, but it shift the phase as well.
That was the perfect spacing to use that. I mean, you have to go for their moves that look like they're just like gigantic risks, like almost like you're trolling. When the Bad Dreams Rising up, right? Because if you play safe in Bad Dreams Rising, you literally don't get an opportunity to get in. So that one was for sure a solid attempt. Ooh, and also the discharge over the 2 Ys. That like that?
Yes, it was. Being that when you're in Bad Dreams Rising, there's a lot of things that Darkrai are able to get. Along with that, getting an invulnerable dash that, you know, you can go moving back and forth with. But at that moment, oh, that's gonna, wait, what? He was able to block afterwards?
That was, I think maybe he got pushed out backward or like sideways through that. That was a really weirdly angled portal, right? So, I don't know, just something weird going on right there. But still, Shadowcat is still absolutely in this, and actually, that might be it. Can we get the...
Nope, it's not gonna KO. Wait, no, but he will have 3 damage left on him. Yeah. And with the wall splat, gonna be right down to 1.
That was so close to the guaranteed KO with that 45 damage, but is going to find the opening regardless. And this Darkrai putting in way more work than last time. That Darkrai got just totally shut down But now, once again, it's probably going to have to go up against this Decidueye. Oh, no.
No.
Wow, interesting.
Yes, most people actually have a lot of arguments for this matchup. Some people say that Gardevoir wins, some people say that Darkrai wins. In my opinion, as someone who uses a lot of Darkrai, I would say it's pretty much even. You get to really showcase the movement with Darkrai, getting around Gardevoir's projectiles. But right here is the tough part, getting through once someone gets started. And right there, you're looking at it. Now Shadowcat is actually able to get started, getting hit just a little bit, and now Ito being able to get the phase shift. He wants to get ever so closer to that burst. No nasty flat on that. There we go. A nasty flat on the energy ball and making the way in.
Yeah, this is a tough spot. No Bad Dreams Rising in dual phase. You're going to get past all these projectiles, but we actually have the Duck on deck. We've got which can honestly be a great anti-zoning tool, but the problem is you don't want to trade with something that's going to, get it up for you. Bad Dreams Rising. There we go. Now things are looking a lot better.
All right, looking a lot better. And you know what? Ito smells the fact that it's going to be a little bit of a tough spot, so he decides to activate Burst. Do we activate Burst on our own as well?
Oh, that's such a risky choice.
Oh, that's a little bit. He getting punished? No, he doesn't. And he could definitely take away this character, but activating Umbreon. 14 seconds left on the clock. The shield break, and that's going to be it. Shadowcat choosing to hold his burst for his next character. I agree, could have definitely taken away another character with the burst, especially in Bad Dreams Rising if he had reset the phase shift points, but instead gonna leave it for the Sceptile that's gonna come out right here. No, goes with the breaks in instead.
Hey, you know, honestly, a good breaks in, using breaks and burst is one of the scariest things in the entire game.
Yes, that is true.
Especially if you end up going up against a like a zoner. A lot of zoners just can't do it, and it's honestly understandable, but we'll see how this works out. Just absorbing a lot of stuff, getting that burst back really quickly. Lost so much meter in that last round, honestly, which is not something that happens almost ever in this game, that you lose like 1/4 of your meter, but didn't end up mattering. Once again, we still do have Farfetch available. Hasn't been called yet in any of these matches.
But look at that, the vulnerable projectile part of that light screen coming out for, getting a little bit of a drop there, but we're not gonna drop this. Look at that damage, even though it was scaled, did plenty, along with that 30 damage wall splash. And nice, using the side wave on the side cancel, being able to dodge that light arrow and taking the KO. Shadowcat showing his reaction time, and like we said, with a low, and this is actually something that I believe is going to come into play, because Decidueye is one of the characters that have a weak shield, and that weak shield is going to be put up against someone that has not only Farfetch, but also has full burst on deck.
Yeah, you know, I need to point this out now. This is one further round than I thought it was, and I misread. This is actually a qualifying match. So if Shadowcat takes just this character down, this will be Shadowcat guaranteeing a spot in the winners finals of the LCQ and guaranteeing a spot in Worlds tomorrow for the top 16. So this is the first match that we're actually going to have that the stakes are this high. Right now, though...
the bait on that didn't really get too much. We got a little bit of damage on it.
Like the smallest damage possible in this game. All right, here we go. Duck pressure. I almost think that might be grabbable, but I don't know if that's true. And there we go.
Nice.
This is going to be almost a full character versus a full character for this round right here. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Ito won the first game. Shadowcat would just tie things up. I got that all backwards.
You know, you were just trying to hype up the match even more, but you know what? I understand. This match is already hype, and this is, like you said, going to be a qualifying match. It would be so great to see Shadowcat come from so far all the way up here, and I think the community would just love it as well. But he has to show a strong effort versus Ito, who wants it just as much. Farfetch gonna back up his opponent, jumping out at that last moment so that way we don't get hit by any more hits. And nice anti-air going in, not getting too much damage, but we do have that defense debuff. The cancel, beautiful movement coming out from Shadowcat, and gonna put him closer to the corner, wall splat, and we have synergy on deck. It's gonna be Ito activating it first, trying to make an approach, counter burst, gonna back him up even further, and that's gonna be a hit. This is not only gonna do the hard knockdown, but this is gonna lock down Shadowcat's Farfetch later on in the match.
Yeah, this is, I mean, it's still down for a decent amount of time, so I don't know if it's going to matter all that much, but I mean, that is almost going to even up the life. Luckily for Shadowcat, he had such a life lead. That's a whip punish. Things are starting to even up here. Shadowcat needs to find just one big opening. I mean, especially in this burst, could do so much damage, but that burst didn't end up doing anything. The Farfetch is back right at time for the buff.
Oh,
jumps over. That 8Y read that he made earlier could have been the right read again, but we're going to get a full wall combo, and this is going to be one mix-up away probably from being it. I don't know if it can end in this field phase unless something big hits. Oh!
It's not enough, 10 HP.
Oh, the meaty. No, doesn't get punished. The dash up CA fully charged.
And there's so many moves that are happening here, but he has to take a moment. Oh! It's not going to do the full crit. The backup at the he punished it. He did the proper spacing out of Shadowcat for the Leaf Blade on the Umbreon. He is still in it.
1-1. The winner of this game qualifies for the World Championship main bracket tomorrow. That is what I like to see, and that was such a clutch final moment. It's unbelievable how many Umbreons we've seen punished today, but that just goes to show how strong every player in this LCQ is. And Shadowcat just showing us one more time how well that can be done. But it's not over.
It's not over
by any means. This has been such a close match. Both games so far have really come down to the end. And now the real main question here is, what is Ito going to choose as the first pick? Because that was the real main difference, right? The decision why going first in game one worked so well, and then he switched it, which was a little bit of a surprising pick to me, and then it felt to me like Ito was fighting a little bit off the back foot throughout the rest of the game. So we'll see what the pick is. I expect that we might see some differences from both sides, maybe even a difference in support. No, we're still going to see the Farfetch. Didn't actually get very much mileage out of it. The Umbreon, we saw negative mileage off of it. And we are going to see back to the Decidueye to start, but the Darkrai to start is, I don't think we've seen it every game. I'm sorry to get confused with how much they've played, but regardless, here we go. A great starting into Bad Dreams Rising.
All right, and Bad Dreams Rising is the start, being able to go toe-to-toe with this Ito. Toe-to-toe for Ito is going to be taking a grab to take Shadowcat right out of Bad Dreams Rising and going to lock down the support just for a little bit with that support debuff. Going to add on the chip. Perfect block.
Perfect. Yep,
nice.
Yep.
Being able to get the full damage field phase combo here and going to put Ito closer to the corner. It's right back to even, but right now looking towards the lead, being able to have clones on top of clones. And when you do have those clones on deck, you can either choose to explode them or you can choose to leave them for the fear of your opponent. And look at him, pushing him closer to the clone just in case if you want to press a button, and that's even more damage right on top.
One more hit here could be it. Oh, that's am I with? No, it's just barely within range. The Farfetch is still available. We haven't seen it almost at all. That's going to connect, and that's going to be round one. That Decidueye has been the character that's dealt the most damage by a huge margin both of these games so far. I think the fact that Shadowcat took it out very quickly without spending too many resources is huge. I mean, this is still going to be a decently healthy Darkrai, which can mean a lot, right? Because you can get a lot of damage with not a lot of health as Darkrai, either with like Bad Dreams Rising mix-ups or zoning or field phase stuff. But full burst is available as well, so this could be a very scary spot. Ito needs to try to close this out very quickly.
Yes, and activating the Nasty Plat right on block. Doesn't want to make sure he takes too much chip damage, but every bit of damage, like you said, is going to matter. And you know what? This is going to be right into Bad Dreams Rising. This is already such a great start. And look at this. This is going to be 0 PSP and a hard knockdown scenario, making Ito activate his burst. This is already a tough spot. Energy Ball, Nasty Plotted, ducking the future sight. We are trying to waste time on this burst, and you know what? Shadowcat is doing it.
This is masterful. Look at that, avoiding every single projectile for the entirety of this burst. Using burst of his own, is that going to catch anything?
No, it's not. It's going to be Ito taking the damage, taking the block. Ooh, and you know what? The last hit, even though if it's a light, the lights still do damage. But you know what? Look at the HP difference. They did enough. I almost said Shadowcat. Shadowcat definitely did enough damage to that Gardevoir to at least make it such a great effort for whatever character he chooses next.
Yeah, I really, truly cannot believe how well he avoided every single burst projectile right there. In a way, too, it didn't open him up to getting bursted himself. And now we're going to see the switch over to the breaks in. Of course, that Farfetch still available. Hasn't really come into play with too many other characters, but actually, honestly, hasn't even landed that much of a hit. I'm not even sure if this is the right support pick to choose in this situation, but regardless, has a lead. Great with punish on the side fly, with the jump A, with the flame charge, but not going to get too much out of it, of course. And there we go, number 2. And, you know, this is going to end this field phase now.
Oh, and the grab is going to end it completely. Shadowcat going to go up one more time in the rounds and only needs one more to qualify for Worlds.
Yeah, and being not able to qualify, not able to make NAIC, to now being, you know, crowdfunded to make it here to this LCQ, and then now being one round away, but it's one round away against a Gengar, and that is so scary. The scary thing here, though, oh, okay, that's a great Umbreon. Being able to drain that meter is huge. I almost think it's time to use an offensive burst and then try to build it back one more time. You have to fight so hard to work your resources for this match, but this is a great opening.
All right, gonna get the Scooby cancels, doing enough damage and using the projectiles that track pretty well, but you know what? Shadowcat just negating it, and I thought that was gonna be anti-air for a moment. It's gonna be Ito going on the offensive again, trying to push Shadowcat to the wall and adding on a little bit of extra wall damage, 30%. Nice, covering some of his options with that. It's gonna be the golf swing. Gonna add on a little bit more damage. Shadowcat's like, all right, let's go ahead, do as much damage as we can. He activated burst. You can only ask for so much, and this is actually a great spot for Shadowcat, having Ito back against the wall, red health shield, gonna put his synergy even further, and Ito tries to press a button.
No.
Hard
weird
knockdown.
Wall. Weird, super weird wall. Oh, stops the burst. Just needs one more hit, though. Oh, it's stuck. The subject disappears.
All right, and that is the end of burst, but only 18 seconds left on the clock. Ito can just hold block here for 14 seconds, but that's only so long. Is he able to hold out through? I'm sure Shadowcat is content with just holding block and just being at this distance.
Straight to the duck, great way to avoid it.
It's Umbreon. It's going to siphon a little bit of synergy. That is going to be a timeout, but you know what? We are okay with that. Shadowcat still has one character left, but Ito is looking real tight over there with only so much HP on a Gengar that is nowhere near getting their own burst.
Yeah, the fact that it's a timeout there and we're not going to get anything from the cheer is gigantic. I cannot stress that enough. This is like the most important time I've ever seen that. You'd have zero opportunity to waste anything. This is almost guaranteed to not be... Oh, wait. First hit. That's not enough, though. One more hit. Shadowcat on... Tournament not...
All right, single hit Astonish gonna go out here, not getting the full optimal. Ito is looking a little bit nervous here, but you know what? He's trying his best. Has to find a way to take, or at least get close to synergy. Throwing out shadow balls. Every little shadow ball is at least giving him a little bit closer to synergy, or at least getting just a full burst.
I don't think it's possible. I think you just basically KO before that happens.
And it is! And Shadowcat giving a little bit of a pop-off here, knowing how much he had to work. He's gonna be our first LCQ qualifier here at the World Championship 2022.
And so well deserved. Like I said, I think that many people would say, you know, and honestly did say, who do you think will win Worlds? And they would say Shadowcat,
they
right?
Would definitely say
so
Shadowcat.
To see that he wasn't qualified going into this is incredible. But as everybody expected, a strong qualification run. Yes, strong.
Let's go ahead and take a moment to look at these replays. Going out with a crazy moment. Look at this optimal combo. And the damage coming in from the burst attack. Ito showing these beautiful combos. What a beautiful character as well. And look at this movement right here. Going directly over that CA was immaculate. Oh my gosh. All right. And the, you know, nice rising anti-air JY coming out from Shadowcat. I mean, not Shadowcat, coming out from Ito.
Yeah, this was just such a good set. I mean, honestly, it's very similar to the Antwerp matches that we saw earlier. It seemed like Shadowcat was a little bit lost in game number 1, but it's all about adaptation, right? It is all about how you deal with what your opponent does, and the adaptation has just looked so strong from so many of the players that have qualified or have been close to qualifying so far today, have stuck this far into winners. And yeah, there's only one more match too in the winners bracket to see who guaranteed qualifies, and I'm really excited for that. I really wish that I could commentate that one, but I think we unfortunately are going to switch over to Kino for that one.
I'm sure you're going to go ahead and enjoy the rest of the matches on the sidelines, and we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Pokkén Tournament DX action here at the World Championships.